So before you actually work on Nearpod in Google Slides, you need to take a moment to sign up. And for us, it's free. All you have to do is, when you sign in or sign up, all right, you're going to be using your single sign in, and so you see it right here. Sign up with Office 365. Just put in your information, and then you'll have access to Nearpod for free. Now once you've done that, now you may go to Google Slides and get the Nearpod add-on and get started on it. Okay, so good luck with that. Hello, fellow teachers. Today I'm going to show you how to create a Nearpod presentation using Google Slides and some of the offerings you can get from Nearpod that you can actually create right from Google Slides. But before I get started, it's really important because I ran into this problem previously to make sure that you were logged into your Google account. Okay, and also, it seems like and I actually created a Google account with my CVESD email, and also I'm logged into Google with my browser as well. If you have two conflicting accounts, it seems like Nearpod doesn't work. So they actually have to work in synchronicity in order for this to happen. Okay, so I just thought I would mention that before we do. So feel free to stop right now and log into both. Otherwise, we're going to move forward. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open a blank presentation. And when you open up a blank presentation, initially you are not going to have Nearpod. And so what you have to do is you need to add Nearpod into your Google Slides. And the way you do that is you click on add-ons. And basically what add-ons are, they are a list of I guess programs, like internet-based programs that you can actually put right into your slides. And as you see here, I already have Nearpod onto mine. But if you don't have Nearpod yet, simply click on Get Add-ons, and you'll be presented with the menu. And as you can see here, Nearpod is at the very top. So as you can tell with mine, it is already installed. Once it is installed, okay, it will look like this. And when you click on it, it's actually going to open up here in the margins, and it is from here that you can insert all the different Nearpod offerings right into your slides. So as you can see here, I fast forwarded a little bit. I went ahead and inserted all the slides. I'm going to be reading a book to the kids called Alice's Trial, and this goes along with their Unit 1 um, theme and benchmark of government. So what I wanted to do was I was going to go to Nearpod, and I wanted to add a feature into my slide presentation. And since this is a story about a trial, okay, I wanted to actually show the kids what it might look like inside of a courtroom. So one of the things that you can do on Nearpod is you can actually use what's called the field trip option. So if you click on it, and it's going to give you a little search bar. Okay, so you can go ahead and search for whatever it is you're looking for. And I'll just put courtroom. And once you do that, you'll be given some options. And so I'm just going to pick one. Okay, and I'm going to look for maybe inside of a courtroom. And so let's see here. So if you take a look here, here's one right here. I'll use this one. And so now the kids are going to have the opportunity, okay, to kind of look at an actual courtroom before I get started with the story itself. And so this is just a nice piece of technology to give them some additional perspective. I'm going to click done, and as you can see here, it's going to insert itself. Okay, and it's right here. And if you take a look, it's on my second slide because that's where I had it kind of marked in my presentation as far as where I wanted it. If you need to make any additional edits, although I normally don't edit the field trip slide, you can certainly click right here. Okay. I think it's worth noting that when you insert something, you actually want to wait until that item shows up on the slide itself. I have found that if you click on something else before that happens, it may not actually stay in your presentation when you go to view it later. So just make sure that you wait until it shows up, and you can also, if you take a look here on the left margin, you see it right there as well. Okay. Now, as I read the book with the children, I want to make sure that they are understanding the story. And one way we could do that is by asking text dependent questions. And this is where you get the real sense, or you get a real sense of the power of near drop. And so, or Nearpod, I'm sorry. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to insert a question, and the way you do that is, again, you have your list of things that Nearpod can do, and I'm going to look for the quiz feature. And so notice it's right. It's highlighted on my fourth slide. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click quiz, and I'm going to be able to insert a question that the students will answer right after we read this page. And the question is, the story started when Alice chased, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and list the options. And this is just an easy way to check for understanding, okay? A bear down a hole, a rabbit down a hole. And if you want to add an answer, simply click add answer. A person down a hole. Now, what you have to do, however, is you need to click on the correct answer. Okay, in this way, when you go back and check your reports, you'll be able to see who got this right. So I'm going to click on rabbit down the hole, then you click save. Okay, and again, you want to wait. You need to be a little patient here, since everything is kind of web-based, so I guess it depends on your connection. So it says quiz, and I'm going to wait till my slide shows up, and there's my slide, and then I can go ahead and go on to my next question. What I would suggest you do is take a look at the different options, okay, and play with them. I would say probably the most engaging option is time to climb. It's sort of like a Kahoots game where you can ask a series of questions, and depending on how fast they answer that question, they actually make their way up a mountain, and at the end of it, those students, the top 3 students who answer the questions the fastest, there's a little podium, and they stand on it. It's very engaging. The kids love it. But I figured I would let you know about it now. So in your planning, if you can somehow introduce that into into your lesson, it would be very engaging. So this is once you are done. Let's say I'm done with my presentation. All you have to do now is click save and go to Nearpod. And when you do that, it automatically saves your presentation. It may say in Nearpod that it's not named, and that's because I haven't named it yet. So I'll show you. But as you can see here, it's saving the presentation into Nearpod. Okay. Okay, and so as you see here, I have it saved into Nearpod now, but it does say untitled presentation. I've got it right here at the top. I can just click on it, and if you click on where it says untitled presentation, the default is it'll go ahead and use the name that you have on your initial slide. So I'll just go ahead and call it that. Now, if I just go back to Nearpod through add-ons, you're going to get the Nearpod margin. Again, and then if I click go to Nearpod, it'll save the name. Now, one really important feature, or one really important thing to remember when you're creating presentations, and I'm going to go back here, is that this Nearpod window will not show all of the different parts of Nearpod, like quiz and field trip and time to climb, all the different features, unless you are in Google or in your Google account along with your Google account on your browser. So you need to make sure those two are synced up. And once you are in Nearpod, you can actually take a look at you can preview to see how your presentation ended up. And so this is the preview window. This looks a little different than the student window, and certainly your window. But as you can see here, there's the quiz that I created, and so on. If I go back here, okay, the let's see here. Oh, there it is right there. So, and also you have the virtual reality, the field trip option right here. So the kids can, again, get a look at what a real courtroom looks like. Since we're studying government, this is, obviously something that uh, that is important, and it goes along with the story. And so those are just two features, two of the many features Nearpod has to offer. Now, if you are ready, okay, to present, if you are going to be presenting to a class, okay, you're going to click on live participation, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you need to choose actually you need to click on link, and when you click on link, it gives you a link down here. You copy the link, and really the best way to do this is once you copy the link is in Teams, just click on the chat feature. So you need to teach your children how to use the chat feature. Okay. So when you're in Teams, what I'd like to do with my kids, I actually like to use the chat feature. And if you use the chat feature, you can actually copy and paste the link right into it. So a moment ago, I copied the link. Now I'm just going to go ahead and place the link or paste the link into chat. It shows up on chat, and all the kids have to do is click on that link. And when they do click on the link, it will take them right to the lesson. And when your student gets to the lesson, all they have to do is type in their name, okay? And I should have just left that. It doesn't matter. No matter. Teacher, and then join the lesson. And then what happens is you, as the teacher, are in charge of the lesson. So you will dictate when the slides are advanced, all right, or when you go back in the slide. This is the student view, and basically as you go through the lesson and you advance a slide, the student participates. Your view is going to be a little different, but this is what the students will see. If you want to set up your presentation as an independent student activity, it's just as easy. All you have to do is click on student paste button, and it will give you a code, and here's the code right here. And so what I do is I'll go ahead and copy and paste, and I would do that in the chat feature in Teams if I wanted to, or I would send it via Class Dojo so parents can have their students work on it independently. And then what happens is when your student logs into Nearpod, all they have to do is enter the student code. And this is I mean it's exact oh, and make sure that they type in their name. I'll just use teacher, but this is exactly as it would look to them if you were running it, but the difference being is they're able to do this independently. So it's a great thing to do if you design it well, something that they can do when they're working independently. And here's the VR feature, and so you've got the text, and you also have the quiz. So play around with play around with it, get to know it. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and if I can, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I would just like to say, I hope you got something out of this, and and thank you very much.